everyone, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. This is the first page that I chose to work with for this month. I really love this floral paper, and I already trimmed off about a half an inch on two sides, so I would have this nice little border that you could see this sticky button paper underneath it. And so I am just using the papers that I selected. I'm trying to keep them whole. I was trying not to trim off too much of what I was doing. So as I place everything down, I notice I need a little separation between the green and the floral. So I am going to use my washi tape, and this is like a diagonal stripe. And I'm going to see if I like it. Instead of like putting washi tape directly on the floral, which doesn't show up very well, how it looked on the white looks fantastic. So I'm going to do both sides, and I'm going to cut that paper in half and glue so that you can see the washi tape just a little bit on the top and the bottom before I place that green segment down on the horizontally. So I think it does. It looks so much better when you put the washi on the white. You can see the colors better. So I'm liking that. And there's just a little bit of yellow that's on the background paper. So I think it's just right. Just right. And I'm not really doing any measurements. I'm not like making sure anything is straight. I'm just gluing things down, adhering things. Now this yellow paper, it's not cardstock, it's definitely paper. So it was, and I'm going to save all the scraps so I can add it to the next page layout, if I want to. So that way, at the very end, I will just put away all of my leftovers at one time. Now, these alpha, okay, let me back up. Let me just say, I find that whenever I do all the embellishing, I often don't leave enough room for a title. So I thought, well, I really should do the title before I start doing embellishing. And so that's why I'm doing this now. Now, I pointed out the date, and I don't know if you even saw it, because I was wondering why these chipboard letters are dry as a bone. Because they are from 2008. So yeah, 12 years. Yeah, they're going to be very dry. And I was trying to get it so all of the writing, because there's like writing on the letters, I was trying to get them all to go the same direction. One of the Y's, the writing was going vertically, and it didn't look right. So I found the Y in Kitty that was horizontal like everything else. Now this little piece of paper here, it says uniquely you, and I'm going to put it on top of that heart. That is going to stay there. And this little vellum butterfly, I had cut that out from a die. So I was able to use that as well. It is going to stay up there on the heart. In fact, everything's going to stay pretty much where it is. Yep, I do end up pulling something that wasn't part of this page kit that I had. It was the words from the tiny words from the Tim Holtz. May have already put it away, but there's like tiny phrases or tiny words. These were tiny words. So the words are crazy. See, I forget now what I put, and I don't have it in front of me. So it's, like that crazy yoga kitty or something like that. So I thought that was appropriate. So the pictures are of Josie, my little green kitty, and she was stretching her paws out, which is kind of funny that a cat would do that. But if her head was down, it would be considered a child's pose, which is funny because there is such a thing as, a cat pose. But that's not what she's doing, obviously. So anyway, so she's been just a little yoga kitty. Now, at the beginning of the video, I did show you everything that was in the page kit, and I do end up using everything, not all of the brads, but I don't use that little bird. And so everything else gets used up. In fact, I probably could have used even more, but that's what I have pulled out. I just didn't want to pull out anything more other than those words, those tiny words. Now this is how I make holes in my pages. I have this really thick piece of foam that I got in some packaging, and I use my pokey tool and just kind of, and I poke 2 or 3 holes in it. Now this little brad says YOLO, Y-O-L-O, you know, you only live once. But because of, you know, it's a word that spells out something, I wanted to make sure that you could read it correctly. So I had to make holes that would work, you know, so that when I put the prongs in of the brad, that they, you know, you could read it. I even tuck a little brad up here by this heart in the butterfly. Now the butterfly, because it's made out of vellum, I didn't want to use any glue on it. I just used the glue that was on the Uniquely You and put that on top of the butterfly and then glued it all onto the heart. Now this is just basically putting these little beautiful, they're flower sequins. And I use these sequins, actually I'm going to use it for all of my pages because I thought it just really worked out well. I know the colors are a little off. I'm trying to color you know, through the program that I'm using whenever I'm editing, and I couldn't get this one to go exactly. Anyway, guys, here it is at the end. Make sure you check out the other ladies that are part of the group, including our 2 guest designers, Jeannie and Eileen. I'll also leave links to their channels below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.